One of the most important realizations I've had in my career in private practice as a mental health professional is the realization of so many different ways that anxiety presents itself in people's lives. And this huge aha moment that I'd had, several years ago in working with men who have these like really in-depth underlying anger and frustrations. Obviously, these make big impacts on their relationships with their partners and with family in the workplace, even within themselves. There's a lot of suffering that comes from being angry and frustrated. Slowly understanding and moving away from any judgment, because I think it's really hard to be compassionate, or it can be hard to be compassionate and understanding for someone who is, always pushing us away or angry or frustrated. Digging away from what's on the surface. I always say anger is a surfaced emotion. It's not the in-depth of what's really going on underneath. Sweeping that away and looking at what's underneath, I had a big realization that it's a lot of men who suffer from anxiety, it actually comes across as anger. When I have had this conversation with men, whether individually or with their partners, it has made a super huge impact on them and made such a huge difference in their life. So I want to pass this on and pass this forward. Just knowing this information, that anxiety comes across as anger for some men, has had an impact on them for understanding themselves, but it's also helped their partners and their families and their loved ones to be able to help them and be more patient and understanding. So it has quite a few effects for having this information. Can someone be angry without it necessarily being about anxiety? Absolutely, for sure. And so some of the signs that I think are really important to look for are very specific to expectations that are then turned into some sort of disappointment. So being really focused on time, or being on time or close to being on time. If things seem like they're in a disarray, so if the house is untidy, or if something was supposed to happen that didn't get done or didn't happen, there's this anxiousness that comes up. Something we have to understand is anxiety triggers us chemically. Blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, parts of your brain for processing information literally start to turn off. We turn into this fight or flight mode. And for a lot of people, that ignites this very toward energy that can oftentimes look aggressive or assertive. And that pushes people away. It's not effective. It doesn't solve anything. If I can teach people and people can learn about themselves of how to slow down, this is a whole different topic, which is how to cope with and understand your anxiety and to manage it. But generally speaking, being able to slow down, really be aware of when you're triggered, the response you have, and the space in between the trigger and the response, that there's some openness there, lots of deep breaths, really trying to understand yourself and expressing that to the people in your life makes a huge, powerful impact. So if this is sounding interesting to you, or you've already decided, wow, this is something I definitely struggle with, or one of my loved ones struggles with, I really want you to get some support. And that could be in the form of a therapist. It could be educating yourself through reading and your own research. But I promise it makes a huge, powerful impact on the quality of your life if you can do this work. Thank you. I hope this was helpful.